everybody and welcome back to the next episode of the MS Val Duisburg Save 50+1 Community Save. And the question for today is, who knows what football shirt this is? Little peek, little top peek of the badge. If anybody gets this, I will be absolutely amazed. It is literally full yellow, but I don't want to give off. I reckon I could even cover that up. Show you a bit more of the badge. Oh, there you go. Little bit of a hint there. Yeah, this is one of my more obscure shirts that I got on a holiday from an island I've been to, or a country. It is an island, but also a country. Let's get into the save. It's January deadline day. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to the save, and it is January deadline day, the 31st of January. And for some reason, we're being linked to Nathan Teller. No, I'll say that right now. He is nowhere near the quality of our current players in the squad that we can have play at winger. So, no. We've also been linked to this guy, Kosta Nedljakovic, who we are scouting. He wants a new contract. He's 22 years old, 9 caps for Serbia. So, I'm going to assume he has got some level of quality to him. Very quick, or could be very quick. Good bit of strength, determination and tackling. I'll see what our scouts say, but I don't think we're going to be buying him on this deadline day, to be honest. There's no real rumours of outs. There's one, which is Merlin Roll, who is our all-action, all-round John O'Shea player, and it looks like he's moving to Hertha Berlin for 1.5 million because I've accepted that bid. So he wants to leave. He's not getting much game time, which is fair enough. So we've got a few things to catch up on. First thing is transfers that have happened during January. Right, we've had a host of youngsters join that will be getting a proper face in time, but we've had a host of youngsters, they've all joined the under-19, so we'll very quickly go through them. This is the first one. William Ibrahim has joined, the Ghanaian has joined us from Ghana for £15,000. You know, fairly determined, young centre-back. I'm sure he's 6'4", massive. I'm sure he's going to be good for the under-19s and then the second team, and if we're short of centre-backs, we can call him up, but that's the first one. Next up, from Cape Verde, which you'll remember I was their under-21 manager, or their under-23s manager, we've got Edson Mascarenas has come in. Left back, driven, leader, pretty good mental and physicals, to be honest, from Cape Verde. He was a free transfer from Machico in Portugal. Again, someone for the under-19s, and then when he's too old for that, we'll go into the second team, and I'm sure we'll do a decent job for them. Joining him from Cape Verde is Carlos Gomez, a fairly determined physical young striker. Again, he can have some time in the under-19, see how he gets on, goes to the second team for some more game time. But again, as a free transfer, I think he's pretty decent. We're not going to hang around on these players too much, but generally looks all right. He is too old for that competition, so straight away, get him into the second team, and let's get him on an intensive language course. Yes, 35 weeks to learn German, nice. Next up, from Cape Verde, you can see that my connections there sort of helped out a little bit. Ailton Varela. Mentals look pretty good for 20 years old. He is a perfectionist, which I'm quite happy about. He's got a very confrontational media style, but the perfectionist leader, he's 5'11". He's probably not going to really make it. So back, he's 20 years old, so he's too. Oh no, that was the senior squad. He's too old to be in the under-19. So again, some game time in the second team. Hopefully he will improve a little bit. But it's a free transfer. And then we get into the money transfers. £1.1 million. We are raiding Colombia in this save. Colombia seems to be the place to go. For £1.1 million, we brought in Brian, because it's A before the Brian Trulio. Brian Trulio we'll go with. Central midfielder, looks very good, 19 years old, a balanced personality, but very, very good mentals for a 19-year-old, good physicals as well. He's already made an appearance for the club, 2 appearances, 6.55, but we're going to let him bed in and see what he can do. Signed straight out of Colombia. I love the fact you don't need work permits in Germany. And the last one that we've signed is Federico Tello, who I think looks really good. Fairly professional physical centre-back, 6'4", so huge jumping reach. Brave, good leadership, positioning's okay, heading's really good to match that jumping reach as well, and he'll jump into strong tackles because he's brave and he's got good heading to win them as well. Can tackle. I think he's going to be really useful for us. If we can get his passing, dribbling, be a bit more of a sort of ball-playing defender, that would be good. Work rate's pretty low, but I think whatever happens, there's going to be profit. £800,000 he's signed for. He's only on $7,000 a week. He has got a minimum fee release clause, but it does expire in 2031. So I've got a feeling we'll have to negotiate that though, because his value is already at that release clause. So we'll have to see how that goes. But that is all the ins we've done in January so far. The outs, we have finally got rid of Caio Jorge. He's gone back to Brazil to play for Santos. That was agreed quite a while ago. Jean-Philippe Mateta has left as well. We bought him on a free, so it is profit. But that probably cost us that amount of money in his wages. But he has dropped down the divisions in Germany to sign for Osnabrück, and he'll probably do reasonably well for them, to be honest. Still only 30, so they might even be able to sell him for a profit. But that is all the transfers so far. The plan was to get into a game, but we'll have to see how busy deadline day goes as well. But the form has been patchy at best. The last game was the 5-0 drubbing by Dortmund. We followed that up with a 5-0 drubbing by Hamburg, which was pretty disappointing. Voltamad got 4 goals for them in that one. A 1-0 win against Union Berlin saw us turn the tide a little bit, but then we got a really good 2-2 draw against Leipzig. We beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-0 in the cup, but their goalkeeper got injured at half-time and they brought on like their third choice under-19 goalkeeper or something. He was awful. And then, lost to Mainz, lost to Wolfsburg, drew with Schalke, beat Stuttgart, lost to Cologne, lost to Frankfurt, and we've changed formation and we've just beaten Augsburg 4-1. So I had, although we won and drew a few games in here, like this one, we weren't playing well. We got a man sent off in this game and won it in the 91st minute, but we weren't playing, the performances weren't matching what we were doing earlier on in the season, and we're sort of overhauling the squad, and we're definitely in a bit of a transition period. A lot of the players that helped us get promoted, that were first team players and, regular starters and stuff like that, have dropped down the pecking order, starting to become unhappy. People like Brekelman, people like Gill, people like, not so much Kister, but Zahovic is going to go out on loan, I think, because he just needs some first team football. And there's those sort of people who aren't at the level we need to take us to the next level, but we'd built the sort of 5 at the back system around them and then transitioned that into the 4-1-3-2 system. And now we've signed players that are just like I said, basically, I think I said this in a previous episode, we're just going to go and sign the best players we can and fit a system around them. And the best players we've got are wingers and strikers, and then we've got a very good depth of centre-backs and sort of central midfielders. So using Bastanet, who I've done a video with on the Data Hub, if you want to go and check that out. I did put a post on it about on my community channel page, so go and have a look at that. It was a good little chat with him around that. But using his knowledge of tactics and stuff, we've sort of got one of his better tactics, which is the Gambit. He's named it the Gambit, and I'm tweaking it as we go to sort of suit our system, but it's generally working really well for us. We've played that one game, we had a really good result against Augsburg. We are playing 4 centre-backs. It's very Tony Pulis, like playing 4 centre-backs in a back 4, but it is allowing us to use our good centre-backs, our good midfielders, good wingers and strikers. We're getting all of these, what are, for this team, wonder kids in the game, and that's really helpful. And it's allowing us to dip into our under-18, under-19s and second team as well and see who fits it. And it's going all right, to be honest. I'm quite confident about it. It allows us to keep that sort of attacking mentality and pushing forward and being on the attack, and it fits a libero in the system as well, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of. So it's going all right. It's going all right. But it is deadline day, so we will take part, and we'll see how that goes. Now, this is an interesting one. Gio Reyna going on loan to Bayer Leverkusen. Is there any way we can hijack this? 50% of his wages, we can do that. They want a clause to say we have to buy him for 46.5 million. How about we remove that clause? We say he'll be a squad player, and then we'll go an optional future fee, but we'll up that to like 60 million because we're probably not going to buy him for that. Let's see if they will take that. They want an optional fee of 62. Fine, because we're not going to buy him. So then it should be down to Reyna, because I think if we can bring in Gio Reyna, I mean, look at him. Look at his ability and his attributes compared to what we've been linked with, which was Nathan Teller, who's rubbish. He's just really, really quick. And I remember him from Southampton, and all he was really, really quick. So we'll see how it goes. Some people have been loan listed. It's the free transfer deadline as well. But yeah, and Izquierdo is heaping praise on Edgardo Yepes, who is the player we need to get the most out of. He is really, really good and 19, and he's going to be playing as an advanced forward for us in this role. It does sort of leave us questioning what we're going to do with these currently. Is he injured? He's been injured recently. Liam Delap, there he is. What we're going to do with Liam Delap? Obviously, he's come in and done relatively well, but if we get a bid for him on deadline day, then we may sell him. There was interest in Tommy Doyle as well from Saudi Arabia, but that's cooled down and I want to keep him, so happy to have him still around. Right, let's crack on with deadline day. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we're the Senegal manager. We've left Cape Verde. I did sort of allude to it that we'd left them. We're now the full-time Senegalese international manager. And for those that are watching my stream of Brighton, yes, of course I've called up Rahul Bar to the international team. He's in my game. We have called him up and he will be playing up front for Senegal. And I'm very excited about it. It'll all happen in the background until we get to a major competition. But yeah, we've got a few World Cup qualifiers coming up against Angola and Mauritius, which we should win, to be honest. And then we've got a few more: Botswana, Libya, Mozambique. So we should qualify really for the World Cup. And I think we're in a good position already. I think we're joint top with Angola. So yeah, we got the Senegal job, which is something a bit different, isn't it? So with 6 hours to go, it is confirmed that Merlin Roll has left to join Hertha Berlin. I think that means he's dropped down a division. He's gone back to the second Bundesliga. And yeah, not bad. Gio Reyna has picked Bayer Leverkusen over ours. He had no hesitation in accepting their offer over ours. Straightforward. Their squad is much stronger. Well, it means you're going to get less game time, to be honest. But yeah, nobody wants Adrian Hill either. I offered him out just to see if we could get some interest. Yeah, I mean, CCE. Someone's offering me an E-Scout Report player. No, thank you. Luka Zahovic is leaving as well. It's just to get him some game time. He's not going to leave the club permanently. He will just be going to them to get a bit of game time. My plan is that hopefully we can get him a coaching qualification of some sort and keep him at the club. But we'll see how it goes. But for now, he's gone on loan to Beltanici, who are in the top league of Slovenia, so it sort of makes sense. He's going home. So we do have 7 million left to spend and money in our wage budget as well. So I was just having a quick look to see who was sort of around and transfer listed. We've got a few people here that we've actually scouted, and the scouts have come back to say, you know, they think they would be a good match. Someone like Walid Chedehira, who does look pretty good at 30 years old. We could do something, but we definitely don't need a striker. And then we've got a few more coming in. We're getting into the sort of not weaker players, but players that are cheaper anyway, much cheaper. Are there any bargains to be had? There's an A- here, 1.8 million. It's Carney Chukwuemeka from Chelsea, who arguably would do a very good job for us. 24 years old, would be pretty decent. He is injured for 1 to 5 days though. Don't really want to take a risk on that. Is there anyone else? Another A- there. Osco Frauler, 24 years old, 1.3 million. Again, it's not adding anything to the team. The one I'm more interested in is if we go to Scouting Centre and see who they've got in here, because this includes all the youngsters they've been looking at. So we've got an A+, Jamie Brun Gittens, obviously very good from Dortmund. Is there anyone really cheap with 475k, 24-year-old Abdul Karim Kamara. Again, a striker. Don't need a striker, to be honest. We really don't need a striker. It's all about looking for an Argentinian, but he's actually playing for Napoli, so that's not ideal. He's 27 as well. I'm sort of thinking if we're in this bargain bucket area, we should be picking up youngsters for relatively cheap, I sort of feel. I mean, there's a 70k to 5 million could not be much more of a wider berth for a value, could it? That's quite a large gap. There is a Polish one here, but again, not. We're just dropping down into the B's now, and I'll tell you what. Let's just go. Can I put a? Oh, hello. So you can do select the minimum grade is B minus. Yeah, okay. Right, I didn't even know you could do all of this stuff. I'll look into that in a bit more detail, to be honest. Filter. Right, okay, no, so you can't actually then tell it in here to be like, I want to sort by like, don't show me anyone over the age of 30, but we'll have a look at that. See, 18-year-old, 21 to 2.1 to 4.2 million, A- recommendation. Eric Lozano as a goalkeeper. Now, we don't actually have a good young goalkeeper at the club, so that could be something. He's 6'7". He's 6'7". We're keen on signing him. 2.1 to 4.3. He would want a minimum fee release of 4.9, so it would be profit. That's all right. Look, we don't need to lower his wages either. We might go for a little Mexican kid on deadline day. I don't think we need to give you this. I think we'll lower that and we'll give you 2 mil. How about 2 million? Okay, you want a bit more kerfuffle in here. Remove that. Remove that. After 50 games, we'll give you 250k. But we're locking in the 30%. You can't go any more than that. They're happy with that. They're happy with that. Okay, so that's not too bad. We've got an A here as well. Peru, but he's at Man City. So we won't be looking at him for much. We won't be hanging around on him, will we, if he's that much? There's that 70k to 5 million guy. We've got 150k to 1.5. A centre-back. Brings with him a bit of pace. Not the best jumping reach. 5'10". Youngster, we don't know his personality, so we'll try and avoid him. A B+ isn't too bad either. Matt Garrell was someone I was looking at when we signed Adrian Hill, to be honest. There's a few people in here still relatively young. Let's just stick with a Mexican goalkeeper, see if we can get him. Although this guy has now caught my eye because I've scouted him before. A ball-winning fielder, 18 years old, 50k to 4.2 as a B-. And look at those physicals. An ambitious, physical, promising striker who can play centre midfield and right wing. He's pretty good, isn't he? Let's ask the agent. We're keen. 450k to 4.5. They're not very expensive wages, so let's just see if we can bring in a couple of cheeky Mexicans. They want 2.1 million. Get rid of that. 30%. We'll give you 2 mil. Okay, we'll see if we can do the same thing as we did in the last one. 30%. Lock that in after 50 league games. What did we say, I think, of the last one? 250k, I think. There we go. So we could be getting 2 Mexicans at the same price. Okay, so we snap up the goalkeeper. He is in. That's not a problem. That one is done and dusted. We'll get him on an intensive language course. We don't need to give him registration because he should go into the under-19s. Yes, the other one actually rejected us. We spoke to him. We offered him a decent deal and he turned it down. So we may be going back in for him. We'll keep an eye on him. Like, he's on the scouting list, so he'll get automatically scouted throughout the years. But yeah, it looks like that's going to be the end of deadline day. And there we go. Deadline day passes. It's 1 in, 1 out on deadline day, so not too bad at all. We kept Tommy Doyle and Delap. Delap did have a little bit of interest in him at one point, but there was nothing major, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But yeah, not too bad on deadline day, to be honest. I guess Zahovic went out as well, which is a loan, but Merlin Roll leaves permanently, and we use that money to basically bring in Eric Lozano, who I'm quite excited about because we do need a young goalkeeper. So hopefully get some good game time, and yeah, I'm happy. I think 6'7". He's 6'7". So we have sent a record high for spending at the club, £11 million. It's really not that much, is it? But the key, as we said at the beginning of the season, the key is to stay in the Bundesliga and get that money that you get at the end of the season, which would be lovely. You can see that players of the week, though, we got Gunnarsson in goal. Fletcher, who is now in the first team, got in there as well, which was good to see. He's enjoying a more attacking role in our midfield, and Yepes up front up front as well. We are going to play the game in today's episode, which is against Frankfurt. We'll be taking them on, and we're taking it seriously because we want to go and win the Pokal at some point, and the further we get in it, we get a little bit more money. So we are on game day then, and we've got a few changes to make. We've got an injury to Hill on the bench, and we do have a slight knock to Reitz in the roaming playmaker role, which we do occasionally change to a holding midfielder or a defensive midfielder as well. So we've got some changes that we need to make. The first one that needs to be done, obviously, is Rocco Reitz in the sort of roaming playmaker role in holding midfield. So we could bring on Carlos Alcaraz, who's done okay, but we're going to probably start Brian Trullo. It's such a weird name to say, isn't it? But he I think he can do it. We've bought him in for his passing and his off the ball, which is decent. He's got good anticipation as well, so he should be able to be a roaming playmaker. And he's 5'11". He's not the best defensively. I think if we need to change that to a sort of a DM to give us a bit more structure, then we swap him and Boyle over. But we'll see how that one goes. And then it was, Adrian Hill obviously needs to come off the bench. So on the bench, we will add Boulat, I think, for his whopping free kick attributes. And then do we put Liam Delap on there? I guess we do. We've got, let's put Liam Delap on there so that we have a striking option. So that's how we're going to line up then. Gunnarsson, Delcroix. As I said, it's a 4 centre-back system. Delcroix, Tello, Beelan and Brakelman at the back. Trulio, Doyle and Fletcher. Snoke. I feel like I should call him, what's the evil guy in Star Wars, the second one of the latest trilogy? Snoke, isn't it? Let's just I might just nickname him Tom Snoke. Romero and Yepes up front, hopefully to carry on his good goal-scoring form. Missing out, who's fully fit, is Alcaraz on loan from Southampton, and Nilson Angulo. Everybody else is not fully fit or injured. So it's the squad is getting a little bit thin potentially. But as I said, I'm not afraid to call up from the under 19s and the second team as well. That is what they're there for. But some big names in the Frankfurt team: Trapp, Tar, Paco. Marmouche is still there as well. Christian Jakic, who I've signed on my Man United save, or I did sign on my Man United save. Carry your last performance into this one, and we're going to do really well. So let's keep this up, have a bit of faith in everybody, and get out there and hopefully get the win. As you can see, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw in our last 5. And how are Frankfurt getting on? They're actually doing pretty well in the league, I think. But they have got 2 draws, 2 losses and a win in their last 5. A very horrible system to play against. But it does mean we can use the roaming playmaker role because they're not playing an attacking midfielder. So we should be okay to give them a good match here. Now, they are the better team. They are going to be the favourites. So I'm hoping that we can match them. We are going to just drop to positive because I don't want to go too sort of gung-ho, because they're playing this 7 at the back with a 3 up front. It's sort of made to get the ball forward quickly and counter. But here is Snoke. We are definitely going to call him Snoke now. Back to Tulio, Tello, Beelan, Doyle. We're moving it around well. Tello again. Here is Brakelman, Gunnarsson. So Brakelman wants to leave. I'm hoping that this system also gives him a good little run in the team. Trello, Delcroix, Snoke. Back to Delcroix again. Trullo. Oh, it looked like he had done a really good little feint there, but I think he literally just left the ball. Marmouche is in. It's 1-0 to Frankfurt. We did get caught out in the transition, which is a little bit annoying, and it came from losing the ball midfield. I don't know why we didn't track. That is the Dutch guy playing as a libero. Just got caught the wrong side. I think what we can do is actually utilise some opposition instructions, which is something you don't normally see me do here either. We're going to tightly mark him, and we're going to cut off his supply by going in very, very hard on the wingers, because we're going to assume to Marmouche they're going to try and put in a lot of high balls, to be honest. So we'll go for that, and then I think I just need to see what they're doing in terms of their positions. Roaming playmaker, we can go and hit Jakic quite hard, and a ball player, we'll go and tackle him hard as well. So Jonathan Tah, ball player, tackle hard. Jakic, go in and tackle him hard as well. I don't want to mark him because he's roaming, so he's going to pull people out of position. I'm just wondering with Jonathan Tah, do we trigger press? Although potentially it's these two that are going to mess up more. So if we press them, they're the normal, they're just wide centre backs. But it should be okay. It should be okay. But we're going to try and cut off the supply to Marmouche and put their pressure under a bit of defence. We will go back to attacking now because we're 1-0 down. We need to get a goal. So hopefully we can make something happen. But it looks like we are struggling to get the ball forward a little bit. We need to play, that's it, play through the lines, just like that. Romero signed as us forward, but playing out on the wing, which he can do. His pulling is pretty poor, but now, look at that. See, it looks like we're now starting to press the right people. That's a good ball to release Romero. Cuts it back. Here's Beelan. It's a Trulio. Oh, it's the underside of the bar. It didn't go in. That's so unlucky for the young Colombian. Really unlucky. Romero with the corner. Short to Doyle. Out it goes to Fletcher. Jack Fletcher crosses it in. It's headed away. That was so unlucky. Coming off the underside of the bar and not going in as Marmoush breaks through the line again. Ugalde's in. It's a cutback. Good save, Gunnarsson. 1-0. We've got a bit of a game on our hands now. It's opening up a little bit. Marmoush, who's very, very tall and for some reason taking their corner as Yeps does clear it away. Dina Mbili into Sakiri. Sakiri goes back to Andreu. Andreu to Jonathan Tarr, who you can see that was going in hard with the aggression. Marmoush forward. It's a really poor shot. And it will be a goal kick. But yeah, we were a little bit aggressive on Tarr there, and he did play round us quite easily. But we can see how it goes. Maybe we don't go in hard on him. I want to see a much better display. Snoke looks demotivated. Let's just see if we can just turn that frown upside down. Yes, we can, with a little bit of a chat to the midfielders. And then I'm thinking, yeah, opposition. Let's not do that on Tarr then. Let's go normal. But we'll do it on the others, because if they're not as good at playing the ball, then we can look to pounce. That's my theory is if they've got players that are weaker on the ball, let's press them. And that's sort of what we can look to exploit. So we'll see how that goes. But Yep's not having a good game. We might change the whole front three. Trulio not having an amazing game, although he did it the underside of the bar. We're not starting this game, this half, incredibly well, to be honest. But an hour gone. Let's get some changes happening here. Liam Delap up front. That's an easy change to do with that one. Snook not playing well. Valencia's going to come on for him. Probably should have started Valencia, to be honest. And then Chulio as a roaming playmaker will bring on Kim Kister could do a good job. He could do a good job in there. And then we've got Del Croy not playing brilliantly and Brakeman not playing brilliantly. Let's bring on Lima for Brakeman back there. Lima is a young Brazilian who's been called up from the under-19s to try and give us a bit more depth in centre-back. But we've made some changes. Let's see how they get on. We do have a corner. If we can score straight away, that would be lovely. Doyle, Romero gives it away. Doyle, ball in. Lima! Oh my word, his first touch was nearly a goal for the young Brazilian. But it's a positive start after the changes. They're trying to play it out from the back. So, again, if we can just... Yeah, it's just allowing their... Okay, that's a very good run from their wing back there. We do go and eventually close him down. In it goes. Jakic's shot is blocked. It's cleared away. Delap picks it up. Valencia can't keep that in. It's a throw-in. He applauds the pass from Delap, but it wasn't the best. Sort of thinking, do we try and camp them in their half? I really hate playing against that system. We could go and really try and camp them in. I'm worried that it's going to be an over-the-top ball to Marmoush, which now gets them a second goal. But we'll give them a bit of encouragement. Here is Sakiri into Andreu. Back to Jonathan Tarr. Out to Pacho. Oh, good pressure on that one on Sakiri there. Doyle comes forward. It's just not a good pass. It's letting us down. That little bit of final ball in the final, or getting into the final third, has let us down. Patrick Larza goes back to Pacho. Into Marmoush. Out to Dina Mblembe. Ball in. Velasco brings it down. This could end in a goal because it's lots of passing. Good save, Gunnarsson. About 15 minutes to go. We have got one sub left who we can bring on. I'm thinking potentially it needs fresh legs on the attack because that's where we need a bit more. Maybe Jack Fletcher off. Marmoush was offside. So Jack Fletcher's sort of been chucked into the limelight because of injuries in the squad. But Ambrose is back, so I think we go for that. And we're going to just switch you two over. Give Kister a bit more freedom to run up and down the pitch as a box-to-box midfielder. Get Doyle trying to control the ball as the playmaker, but again, we may change him to... Oh, good save, Gunnarsson. They are just breaking through us a little bit, so let's go for a little bit more solidity in there with someone who's a bit more stationary. See if that can get us back into the tide of the game. Tello heads it away. Lima clears, and that's a foul, and it will be, hopefully, a yellow card to Dina Mbele, but maybe not. 10 minutes to go. Okay, we have the ball with a few minutes left. Tello has been absolutely robbed by Boniface. The young Colombian gets robbed. Del Croy, that's a really bad header. Clearance, it's 2-0. Engelhardt wraps it up for Eintracht Frankfurt in the last few minutes of the game. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. They are better than us. We rotated we sort of rotated the team. We're trying to blend in these new players that we're bringing in. A terrible header away from Del Croy. Velasco with a square ball. Engelhardt, good finish at the near post. 2-0 to Frankfurt. Yeah, the back four is getting tired. Maybe could have saved a few legs there, but it is what it is. We're out of the DFB Pokal. We really didn't play very well in this game, which is annoying. That's 2 games on camera where we've not played very well. So we'll tell them that we're not happy. Jack Fletcher did well, Tommy Doyle did well, Federico Tello did well at the back actually, and Gunnarsson had a good game because he was busy. But we do get 1.28 million for reaching the quarterfinal. The board will be happy as well because we outperformed what we wanted to do there. So I'm not too upset with the performance. I think we've done okay in the competition. I think the team are playing relatively well. It's a tough position. It's such a sort of transitional season, this one. We've brought in quite a lot of people. I think the dynamics will be a little bit of a mess, to be honest. If we look at social groups, yeah, people are sort of all over the place. Normally I like to just have 2 quite good social groups, like a core one and then the secondary one. We do have team leaders are still here, which is good, and highly influential players. Yeah, but a lot of people need to find their place. Yeah, the club atmosphere has gone down a little bit. Team cohesion has gone down a little bit as well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. But we are bedding in a lot of new players, young players as well, and changing the system won't help. We've changed it quite dramatically, but we are keeping the 5 at the back system, the Teflon slip, the 4-1-3-2, and this system as well will be the 3 we sort of rotate around. But yeah, staying in the Bundesliga, that's all we need to do, right? We're currently 10th after 20 games. There is 2 games in hand on us for Cologne, so we could drop down to 11th. But if we stay in the league, that's all we need to do. That's the most important thing. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.